By the later days of the Bronze Age, several civilizations had emerged across the Near East and Eastern Mediterranean and were flourishing, constituting the most literate and technologically developed societies of their day. These include Egypt along the Nile River, the Hittites in Anatolia, the Minoan and Mycenaean civilizations in the Aegean Sea, and Mitanni and Babylonia in Upper and Lower Mesopotamia, respectively. The namesake of this era, of course, is the metal bronze, a versatile metal that would for thousands of years play an important role in making all sorts of items, ranging from weaponry, armor and shields, to pots, dishes, fishhooks, and more. Tin-bronze is an alloy of two primary metals, mostly of copper with significant amounts of tin. Additional other impurities are also present in minor concentrations, these minor constituent elements being most especially relevant to archaeologists as trace elements. Knowing this about its composition, the question of from where were these metals gotten comes to mind. In this video, we shall be seeking to answer the question, where did the Bronze Age's bronze come from? Constituting the wide majority of atoms present in most bronzes, copper is a much more abundant metal in the Near East and Eastern Mediterranean, being found in large quantities in several areas across the region. The island of Cyprus was an especially strategic region for a couple of reasons. For not only was the island situated on the maritime crossroads of the Bronze Age civilizations, but the island itself is home to the largest copper ore deposits in the entire Mediterranean, which could be found near the Troodos Mountains by the island's center. At the Alurbran shipwreck off the Aegean coast of Anatolia, an enormous cargo of luxury goods was excavated by underwater archaeologists, including a remarkable 10 tons of copper ingots, iconically shaped into molds resembling oxides, and their origins were traced using lead isotopes back to Cypriot copper ores. So important was Cyprus to the bronze trade during Antiquity that the island's name would give rise to our Latin word cuprum, from which we in the English-speaking world would eventually derive our very own word for copper. Besides Cyprus, copper of the ancient Near East may be attributable to other local regions, such as the Taurus Mountains in southern Anatolia, which bore a variety of metal ores including gold and silver, as well as copper. Even though copper may have been locally available, that does not preclude copper from being sourced from farther afield. With lead isotope analysis, certain bronze artifacts from two sites in Lebanon were proven to not only originate from nearby Atoll, but rather from the northern Turkish coast, Iran, and perhaps even as far as Oman. The original bronzes developed at the start of the Bronze Age were in fact alloys of arsenic with copper, but by the later phases of the Bronze Age, the quality of tin-bronze had led to eventually dominate new bronze manufacturing. Whereas there is copper ore to be found in abundance, there is then tin, a much rarer metal to come across in nature, and thus the origin of Bronze Age tin has been a much more elusive question with much less broad consensus. One such a potential source of tin were the mines of Devon and Cornwall in southwestern Britain. Provenancing isotope signatures have already demonstrated the tin in Western European artifacts, such as the Nebra sky disk from Germany, to be likely from Cornwall. The presence of Cornish tin in the markets of the Eastern Mediterranean ingots was also indicated by the analysis of both tin and lead isotopes at several sites in Crete and Israel, though it is also possible that the tin may have come from other sites in Europe, like the French Massif Central or Ore Mountains of Germany. From the east, the region of Badakhshan in Afghanistan was a major supplier of tin to the Near Eastern civilizations, an exchange which also facilitated the movement of luxury goods such as lapis lazuli. That is not to say that there was not any tin mining local to the Near East. The tin oxide ingots of the Alurbran shipwreck, for example, were provenance with trace isotopes of lead and shown to have similar chemical signatures to tin ores from the Taurus Mountains mentioned earlier. It could be said that the earliest development of bronze in the Near East likely relied upon these smaller local deposits of cassiterite already present. By the time of the late Bronze Age, however, the demand for tin bronze likely facilitated long-distance exchanges between different areas, indicated by the tremendous loads carried by seafaring vessels such as the one sunk at Alurbran, which contained over a ton of tin ingots and tenfold as much copper. With all that being said, a disclaimer must be said about scientific provenance. Much of the copper and tin circulating around the Mediterranean Near East at the time was recycled, and in being mixed and recast, any attempts to establish concrete links of provenance are obstructed. Though this limitation may be seen as a setback to provenance, the mixture of metals of different geographic origins only demonstrates further the diverse and thriving nature of exchange during the Bronze Age. The diverse origins of the metals used by the Late Bronze Age is a testament to the long-distance exchanges taking place across Western Eurasia, drawing imports from Britain to Afghanistan. The proliferation of bronze on the scale that existed attests to the interconnectivity of the regions of Western Eurasia. Such was the reliance upon tin in the economies of the Late Bronze Age that the British archaeologist Carol Bell has described its importance as analogous to that to which crude oil holds in our own globalized economy today. While the extent of direct contact between these distant regions of the globe is still not fully understood, it can be said that the Bronze Age saw the enlargement of sustained interregional exchange networks, which is in large part facilitated by the demand for tin and for copper.